Today we'll be running a special show highlighting projects around UNLV.
We'll tell you what to look forward to this semester. Don't go anywhere. Studio G starts right now.
Good afternoon, Rebels, and welcome back for another episode of Studio G. I'm Giselle De Los Reyes.
And I'm Joaquin Lomelli. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight, country duo Big and Rich will headline Vegas Strong, a night of healing at the New Orleans Arena. The event, hosted by Boyd Gaming and Beasley Media Group, will feature singer Cam and Fox personality Sean Hannity. All profits from food and beverage sales will be donated to those affected by the shooting. The 58 crosses lined up at the Welcome to Las Vegas sign will be moved to the Clark County Museum in Henderson. All items left at the site will be collected and added to the museum exhibit. The move is set for November 12th.
A military transport plane conducting a mountain training mission was forced to make an emergency landing Monday at Reno Tahoe International Airport. The plane experienced issues landing with landing gear shortly after takeoff. All 14 people on board landed safely. After over 200 shows, Elton John is saying goodbye to his residency at Caesars Palace. The 70-year-old will perform his final $1 Million piano show on May 19, 2018. Tickets go on sale on October 22nd.
Nevada high schools are expected to set a graduation rate record for the state. The class of 2017 rate is on track to hit 80.55%, which is a 7% increase. Public Instruction Superintendent Steve Canavero said it is a strong indicator that Nevada is the fastest improving state in the nation. Las Vegas is now home to one of the largest marijuana stores on the planet. The store will be open 24 hours and plan to build a drive-through for customers. The dispensary is on a Paiute land off of Main Street and Washington Avenue. Customers will pay the same amount in taxes, but the funds will go to the tribe instead of the state of Nevada. And that wraps up your local news.
It's time for a break, but when we come back, I'll sit down with UNLV's student newspaper, the Scarlet and Gray Free Press. Stay tuned.
At first it looks overwhelming, and at first it looks like it's a lot of work, but I'll tell you what, it's the most beneficial class I've had at UNLV to date, without a doubt. You get to not only develop stories and work on your interviewing skills, your editing skills, and your shooting skills from a camera perspective, you get to work on all the equipment that's in the studio. So you're working on audio, you're working on directing, tech directing. You get to produce your own show. You can take a 30-minute newscast and make it your own. And that's really cool about Studio G. Like I said, a lot of it seems overwhelming at first, but it is by far the best class I've taken at UNLV since I've been here.
Oh, the station's great. You make friends, you gain skills, you learn how to do all this stuff with audio. It's a fantastic thing.
I can grow with everyone and everybody supports me as well as I can support them.
I think it's great. I think it's a blessing to have this kind of equipment from the Green Spawn family as well as the state of Nevada.
And it's really informative to see, how a radio show really works.
Now that I do it, I have friends, I have people that want to hang out, and I get to play music a lot.
It's very good too because we have all the top of the line equipment to work with and students here that can help you out, so it's a very, very good way to get involved in the radio.
You don't get to do an internship, you have to do an internship. It's one of the requirements for a journalism major is you have to do an internship before you can graduate.
Definitely having an internship as a requirement really helps push yourself out there and to just remind you that your graduation is coming up soon. you're going to have to need some work experience in your career. So it's really good to put yourself out there early on, and they tend to help students a lot more. So when you do a student internship, it really helps out a lot.
Welcome back to Studio G. In the hours after the recent mass shooting, the Scarlet and Gray Free Press supporters were out in the field working to tell the story of what happened. Today I'm here with Editor-in-Chief Bianca Checa and Managing/News Editor Blaze Lovell. Thank you guys for being on the show today.
Thank you for having us.
So with the October 1st shooting, how did you guys go about covering it?
So we really wanted to focus on the victims and their families, and also how UNLV handled it. So like their crisis communication strategy and basically what they're going to do in the future to improve. So that's the focus that we really wanted to have. But we also knew that we needed to provide our readers with updates on any new information that was coming out regularly through Metro briefings and other sources. So we were basically, everyone on the staff, except for a few people, were working really hard to just get all of that information together. So whoever was available at any given time was just doing whatever needed to be done at that given moment.
So for those who were available, how did you guys split up who was going to cover what?
It was really on availability. It was just a breaking news environment, so whoever was there in the newsroom or picked up their phone, we would just send them on a particular assignment.
Yep. I got into the newsroom kind of early on Monday morning just so I could start planning out and organizing everyone where we should send them, who's available, who can come in. It was an all hands on deck kind of week, and that was almost from Monday all the way through Friday.
So what was the hardest part about covering the event for you guys personally?
I think it was trying to stay, just dealing with the emotional part of how big and awful the tragedy was, while also working harder than I had in quite a while, because we were working with very low breaks all day, and there was a lot of pressure to do everything right. So at the same time, I was personally affected by it. I knew people who were at the festival, no one who was hurt, thankfully, but it was still it was a big deal. So just dealing with that, and also knowing that I had to put out a good issue at the same time was the biggest challenge for me.
For me and a lot of the staff, it was trying to return to school after all this happened. We kind of forgot that we were students for a week, and when we came back, we realized we had classes, we had homework, and there were things that we just had to pick up and start doing again.
Yeah. So I heard that you guys were recognized by the university and the Review Journal as well. So can you guys tell us a little bit more about that?
So it's great to get recognition. I mean, that's not the only reason we do it. We don't get a lot of recognition from the university, I feel. So it was interesting to see us get lumped in with the rest of the J School's accomplishments that week. We appreciated that the Review Journal, I know that they had a ton of other stories that they needed to do related to the shooting, so it was great that they took the time to come and meet with us and write a story about us. So.
And I also heard that you were graduating, so I guess that calls for a new editor-in-chief. So how would people go about, what are the qualifications and how can they apply?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was going to graduate this semester, so we had to have an application process. So anyone who wants to put in an application has to send it to our business manager. They need a 2.0 GPA and be enrolled in 6 or more credits. So they need a cover letter, 3 writing samples, and a resume. That's our business manager is Kathy Schreiber. Her information and all of that information on how to apply is in the house ad that is in every single copy of our paper.
Which we print every Monday.
Yes.
So who should they contact specifically?
Well, if they want to apply, they should contact Kathy Schreiber.
Kathy. All right. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I appreciate you guys being here. For anyone interested in applying for the position, applications are due November 3rd by 5 p.m. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll talk to Darren Weller, the director of UNLV's play Good Kids. We'll be right back.
It's your girl, Scribe Cash.
My name's Fabian Stefan.
Perpetual Player One.
And I'm your host, Brandy the Prince Madison.
My name is Haley Rogers.
From the Miles Low Midweek Show.
The Scribe Cash radio show.
You can listen to Pixel Jam.
Press start to play.
And this is the Takeover.
Rock on Rebel.
On KUNV HD2.
From the RebelHD2.com.
Our Metropolis is a 30-minute show that airs every Tuesday evening at 91.5. You're going to hear Dr. Gary Larson along with our regular contributors talking about what matters to our community. And not only what matters, but why does it matter? We look at our community as a whole, but we also pay special attention to what's happening here at UNLV because that's our home as well. So looking at our Metropolis through the lens of a radio show really gives us the unique perspective to tell a story through words and through people, and I think it makes for a great program.
My name is Walter from Deep Thought.
My name is Bruce Gill. I'm the host of La Alternativa.
Perfect Music Radio with me, Lily.
My name is Sam, and I host Sunday Evening Jazz.
I am Rockin' Gemini.
This is Jalen Young on More Than Music Mondays.
And listen to us on the Rebel HD2.
The UNLV School of Theater is set to premiere their opening new show called Good Kids tomorrow. Here to talk to us about the new play is director Darren Weller. Thank you so much for joining us today.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
So let's talk a bit about the play.
Mm-hmm.
What is the setting? What's the play about?
So the play was written in 2014, and it's part of an initiative called the Big Ten Play Initiative, where it started at the University of Michigan, whereby they commissioned a play every year for 10 years written by a female author, and the only stipulation is it has to include 7 female characters. So the idea is to get female voices back inside the theatre departments at universities across the country. Good Kids is the first play of that series, and it's written by the playwright Naomi Izuka, and it revolves around an event that happens at a high school football party where a student is raped by a bunch of football players. And it's loosely based on the events that occurred in Steubenville, Ohio, the Steubenville rape case in 2012, I think it was. And so there's this event that happens, and there's a number of kids involved. There's 12 characters in all, and they all have different roles to play in terms of the way the event plays out, but also in the way that they deal with the aftermath of the event. And so the play is really about the misconceptions that surround sexual assault. And so, you know, we've seen that there's often an unfair burden placed on the woman in sexual assault cases to have acted differently, to have done something different to prevent the event occurring. And so the play deals in a large part with those misconceptions. And it's very relevant to, you know, to what's happening on college campuses around the country. I know there's a large debate about affirmative consent policies and laws that are being initiated in state legislatures and like university bodies, and also if you look at the statistics, students within college campus settings are more likely to encounter sexual assault than outside of college settings. So it's in terms of the issue of the play, it's very relevant to students here at UNLV.
Right. So talk to us about, like, you know, preparing for this.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of, like, the behind the scenes to create a production like this? You know, going through like stage props, you know, preparing the actors to really dig into these roles. Talk to me a little about that.
Great. So the play has 12 characters, and it's set across multiple locations, and it moves very quickly, and it's told in a way that is not chronological. So we jump around a lot. There's one narrator in the story who has a secret of her own that is revealed at the end of the show, and she drives the action of the play and kind of pieces the story together for us. But because there's so many locations and we move so quickly, the set is very bare bones. It's really about the actor in the space. So we've had a lot of fun playing with the physical language of the play, and also there's been some beautiful projections and lighting done by our production team. So that really helps to clarify the story elements that we need, communicated at certain parts of the show. But the students have been so engaged. There's 9 undergrad students and 3 MFA students as part of the cast, and because they relate so clearly to the material, there's an urgency within the play that really comes across. There's a need, they feel a very strong need to tell this story, and to tell this story now to their peers, because that's how we change the statistics on sexual assault, is through conversations. And theatre, if it does anything well, it sparks conversations that can then happen in kitchens and dorm rooms and locker rooms.
And for students or anyone who's interested in seeing the show, the opening show's tomorrow, where can they go to get more information as far as ticket information and all that?
They can go to nevadaconservatorytheatre.com, which is the website, or they can head down to the box office, which is on the Cottage Grove, inside the Cottage Grove parking lot, or they can come down to HFA. There's plenty of material down there. We run from the 20th until the 5th of November, Thursday, Friday, Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. and Sundays at 2 p.m.
Oh, great. Sounds very good. Well, thank you very much for joining us. We're going to take another short break, but when we come back to Studio G, reporter Kayleen will have a special interview with Sunny Brown from the UNLV student chapter of SPJ. We'll be right back.
Welcoming, lively, friendly. A place where neighbors and friends come together to celebrate their community. With over 50 vendors, organic, sustainable, fresh produce are available just for you. Support and buy local at Fresh 52.
UNV 91.5, The Source. Here's why you should become a member. Become a part of the public radio family while keeping jazz alive in Southern Nevada. Every member receives a discount card to businesses and restaurants around the valley, along with a premium of KUNV branded items, exclusive access to KUNV ticket giveaways for concerts and events, and private members-only events with prominent musicians such as Paul Taylor, Vincent Ingala, and many more. We are 91.5 The Source, and that source is you. So become a member today.
Low. It's your girl, Scribe Cash.
My name's Fabian Stefan.
Perpetual Player One. And I'm your host, Brandy the Prince Madison.
My name is Haley Rogers.
From the Miles Low midweek show.
Your Scribe Cash radio show.
You can listen to Pixel Jam.
Press start to play. And this is the takeover.
Rock on Rebel.
On KUNV HD2.
From the rebelhd2.com.
Welcome back, Rebels. UNLV Society of Professional Journalists will begin hosting their Brown Bag Social Hour every Thursday in Greenspun Hall. I'm here with Sunny Brown to learn more. Hi, Sunny. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So I know that you're a part of SPJ. Can you tell us more about it?
So SPJ is one of the leading bodies for professional journalists or wannabe journalists. Has been around since 1909. We've always had a chapter on the UNLV campus, but it's been dormant for the last year. We're trying to revive it. One of the things we're trying to do with it is the Brown Bag Social Hour. Every Thursday, starting next Thursday, October 26th, between 12:45 p.m. and 2:15, and we'll have speakers come in and speak. What we really want to do is have students, journalism students, communication students, anyone who's interested in furthering the cause of journalism, because it is a cause, we're under attack, to just collaborate, get together, socialize, work on projects. Who knows, you might be able to find a partner that will start that next New Yorker with you, just like they did. It's without saying that journalism has been under attack by elected officials. I mean, there is a representative, a lawmaker in Indiana, Jim Lucas, who has proposed having journalists, professional journalists, licensed by the state police. I mean, there's so many implications for First Amendment right there, being licensed by the state police. Clearly, when the Constitution says that, Congress shall make no law regarding First Amendment rights, freedom of the press and speech.
And I know, I just want to know, what does it mean to you to be a part of SPJ?
Oh man, certainly as great as UNLV's journalism school is, and I know we're doing some new and exciting things in the department, there are just some things that we just can't teach. We can't learn in a classroom. One of the things I'd like to do is bring in members, leaders in the Muslim community to come talk to students. How do you interact with a community that you're not a part of? How do you interact with a community that is many times in the media maligned, and they're very distrustful of how media represents them? Or there's lack of representation, little things like that. There's just some things that you just can't have in a course over 3 months that I think a Brown Bag social hour that we do every Thursday starting next week will be able to do. And it's a nice place to come in and just have lunch and just eat, socialize, have fun.
And what kind of speakers will be there?
So next week we're going to have Ricardo Torres, who's a reporter. He's a crime reporter for The Sun. We're going to have music producers and freelance writers, things that I think that our curriculum doesn't quite address because it's not enough for a whole month, a whole semester of anything. So those are the kind of people, leaders in media locally, leaders that we can get who can get on Skype and talk to us, leaders in media, leaders in the community, as I said before. And just little things like having Charles Sobel, who will help you fill out freedom of request information forms, stuff like that.
And how do you think this is going to benefit UNLV's community?
Oh, I think anything that helps to further someone's career or gets people together to collaborate and work on things is going to help everyone. I mean, certainly being a part of the SPJ has helped me. I was able to get a scholarship to go to Denver for a weekend-long conference that they paid for. That gave me all sorts of tools that I wouldn't have had if I just went to school, and made connections within the industry that are useful to me today. I mean, things like, how do you find a source? How do you get past the PIO? When you want information on breaking news, how do you take care of yourself as a journalist? How do you navigate this landscape where you're trying to figure out social media and everything?
And do you have to be a journalism major to attend the social?
No, you can be anyone really, but someone who has a keen interest in journalism and furthering the cause, those are really the people we're directing things to.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming onto the show. We appreciate it. We're going to take one more quick break, and when we return, Ryan Wilgeroth and Lux Reynolds from the Society of Lightsaber Duelists will give us a demo on how to use a lightsaber. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it.
Your community's farmers market. Welcoming, lively, friendly. A place where neighbors and friends come together to celebrate their community. With over 50 vendors, organic, sustainable, fresh produce are available just for you. Support and buy local at Fresh 52.
We are member supported. KUNV 91.5, The Source. Here's why you should become a member. Become a part of the public radio family while keeping jazz alive in Southern Nevada. Every member receives a discount card to businesses and restaurants around the valley, along with a premium of KUNV branded items, exclusive access to KUNV ticket giveaways for concerts and events, and private members-only events with prominent musicians such as Paul Taylor, Vincent Ingala, and many more. We are 91.5 The Source, and that source is you. So become a member today.
My goal is to be an on-air personality, and that's what my career is. It feels really incredible because I've been wanting to do something like this for my whole entire life since I was little.
I mean, it's an opportunity to express myself, get my voice out in public, and get heard for things that I feel strongly about.
This station helped me out a lot, gave me a lot of information I didn't know about a radio station in general.
It was really easy to get a show here. I took the classes and did the shadowing. They give you a lot of freedom to do what you like, and I feel like there's a lot of support in places you can get answers to.
It's just an incredible experience because I could take what I learned here and I could turn it into something more.
Welcome back. The new trailer for the Star Wars The Last Jedi was recently released, so we thought we'd invite Ryan and Lux to demonstrate how to use a lightsaber. Thank you guys for being here today.
Absolutely, thank you for
So what are you guys going to show us here today?
So we're going to show you the Corral. This is the beginner duel that all of our new members learn every year when we bring them into the club.
All right, so quick questions like where do you guys perform? What do you guys really do for those who don't really know?
Yeah, well, we're the Society of Lightsaber Duelists, UNLV. We choreograph and perform lightsaber duels for events, flash mob, and film performances. We get to perform all over Las Vegas and UNLV, so we've gotten to perform for Make-A-Wish Foundation, Discovery Children's Museum. We're actually going to be at Opportunity Village's Halloween event for the rest of the month, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from open to close. So we get around a lot.
Nice. Well, I'm going to step out and you guys can do your thing.
All right.
Show us what you got.
Right. That's what we do. Oh, that's really close. Okay. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes, that was intense, guys.
Thanks.
So,
That's what we do.
if anyone wants to find more information about you guys, where can they look at?
They can find our website, soldunlv.com. That's SOLDUNLV.com. They can also find a ton of information at facebook.com/SOLDUNLV.
Thank you so much for being here. That was a really cool demonstration.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Junior's coming back. Hey.
I know, that was awesome. Thank you guys.
Of course.
Thank you guys very much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. Well, that's all the show that we have for today. Tune in next week for more Studio G. I'm Joaquin Lomelli.
And I'm Giselle De Los Reyes. We want to say happy birthday to our director, Jessica, and may the force be with you.